Maybe you think that me making this video means that I hate Paris or something. I do. I also love Paris, come on. But as the French say, il n'y a qu'un pas entre la haine et l'amour, which means there's only one step between love and hate, and me and Paris are often there. And I think by this point, everyone knows I'm a huge fan of freaking Paris. I chose this as my home base for a little bit. But that being said, in order to choose a home base that you like, you need to analyze what's good about the city and what also sucks about the city. That's what I'm here to do. It shows that you thought about it enough not to just accept the city at face value. Wow, that was the most French thing I've ever said. Like I'm giving myself an excuse to complain. But is it really complaining if you're just pointing out what could be better? Who am I to say what's better? Okay, this could go on forever. I made this video like 2 years ago, and oddly I had a lot of energy for somebody who hated Paris. But this time, I have even more things that I hate about Paris. Let's get into them. The button to leave a building. Okay, so when you want to leave a French building, you have to press this button that says sortie ou porte, which means the exit or the door. The door won't just open by itself when you're in the inside of a building. You have to press a button and then it'll unlock the door. And maybe as an American, we're just born with this like automatic fire hazard knowledge. I'm just like, okay, if there's a fire and I'm running out of this building and I'm not French, I'm not gonna know to press this button because I don't speak French. And I'm also not used to pressing a button to leave a building. And I'm trying to give the situation the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, okay, from a French perspective, why would you need a button to leave a building? And I can't figure it out. If you're on the inside of a building, the door's already locked, so you should just be able to press the door open, right? Like, why do you need to press the unlock button? Okay, you know what? It brings me to my next point. A lot of doors in France, you have to pull them, whereas in the States, it's a door that can be pushed, and they do that because if there's a fire in the building and everyone's running out of the building, you don't want to pull the door back into all the running traffic. You want to push it open so you can get out of the building. So here you have two fire hazards. You have the freaking button to get out of the building, and then you have a pull door to leave. And that's not even it. When you leave most Parisian apartments, you can technically lock somebody inside because you have your key and you walk out and then you lock the door. From the inside of the apartment, you can't unlock some of the locks. You have to do it with a key. But if you don't have the key, if your roommate took the one key, you can't get out of the apartment. Now, again, say there's a fire. Something I hate about Paris. As an American, I have it ingrained in my mind that I need to tip everybody, which is annoying because I don't feel like it should be the customer's responsibility. It should be the employer's responsibility to pay their staff. Anyways, here in France, you don't really need to tip, but you do kind of need a tip. Most of my French friends will say this, oh, well, if the service was exceptional, then you should leave a little bit of money. I've been with my French friends in restaurants where they tip, and I've been with my friends in restaurants where they didn't tip, and the service was the same, and so I'm just like, what? And I've been with French friends who say like, oh, if you're gonna leave a 50-cent or €1 tip, you might as well not leave one at all. And I'm like, so what do you want me to do? Y'all, comment below, help me out here. Next issue. I've been in many French households where they do not have a shower curtain. Now you're in a shower that's basically in a bathtub with the shower head. So you're probably thinking, yeah, you're underneath it and water's going everywhere. You're right. I'm like, yo, why don't we get a little shower curtain and then the water doesn't spill everywhere? Instead, they just kneel down like this and shower themselves like that. Like, shower curtains aren't that much money. I really am curious about that. Si vous êtes français, commentez en bas pourquoi vous utilisez pas des rideaux de douche. And then this is just my typical philosophical, maybe taking it too far kind of self. I'm like, oh, maybe this is why everyone else in the world has a stereotype of French people that they stink or that they don't shower. Like not having a shower curtain maybe implies that they don't shower. I don't know. Oh my God, this one really, like I get upset when this one happens. Like I don't let many things faze me. Road rage, somebody leaving a hate comment, but like the one thing that really upsets me, not even get me mad, it upsets me when people cut in line. And it's huge here. People love cutting in line here. And I think it's that they do it so sneakily. Almost like, yeah, he's a dumbass, he's not even gonna realize. This is what they do. You'll be in line for the boulangerie or like at customs at a French airport and you're standing in line and everyone else is standing in line and then you have like a French grandma. It's always like the grandmas. It's like this. This is you, you're this, and I'm the French grandma. Over time, they'll try to overtake you and they'll stand here and they'll stand here and then they'll stand here. And you're just standing there like, excuse me, like, do you want to just pass ahead of me? Si vous êtes français, s'il vous plaît, commentez à propos de ça en bas aussi. Je comprends pas. Everything should be equal, everything should be fair. If we're all waiting in line, we all wait in line. French grandmas too. No, okay, some French grandmas can pass, but not when they're trying to pull a quick one on me. It's gotten to the point where I've realized that it affects me, so I just say, excusez-moi, vous voulez passer devant? And then it catches them off guard, and then they're like, oh shit, I got caught. The next thing I dislike about Paris, I feel like I've noticed a certain sense of if you can cheat the system, good for you vibe. Like for example, here in France, it's more of a socialist culture than the States. What's a social service that everyone pays for? Like the metro, okay, you're paying for your ticket and your ticket goes to providing a metro that works. I feel like in theory, people here would be like, oh yeah, that's great. But then they're the same people who are jumping the turnstile and not paying for a ticket. And everyone around them is just like, ouais, bah c'est comme ça, bah tant mieux pour lui. So we're all gonna pay for this, but that person's not. Then again, I just let it go because I was like, you know what? I'll just talk about it in my sequel of things I hate about Paris. Burnt coffee. Cafés Richard! If you drink coffee at your typical brasserie bistro, they're gonna serve you Cafés Richard, and Cafés Richard is burnt as fuck. I don't even know what I can call this one. Is it like know-it-all, superiority complex, or just people like not knowing things and acting like they do? They have a sense of superiority on things that are like nul. I was once in a coffee shop here in Paris, and if you know anything about coffee, you know that cappuccino and latte are two different things. It's not simply how many shots are inside. And this particular coffee shop, I was like, oh, I want a double cappuccino. Cappuccino is made differently than a latte. They're not that different, but they are made differently. Je prends un double cappuccino. And she's like, oh, alors c'est-à-dire un latte? And I'm like, non, I want a double cappuccino, like un cappuccino avec un autre shot dedans. Mais monsieur, ça c'est un latte. And I was like, no, it's not. And then the best part was that I was finally like, I don't need to get into all this. So I was like, oui, je prends un latte alors. She's like, oui, monsieur, un cappuccino c'est un shot et un latte c'est deux shots. Learn something new every day. And I was like, it's like, no, maybe you need to learn something new every day. If you come to Paris, you may notice that they have le Gendarme, the French military, walking around in their uniforms with huge machine guns, walking like this. Or even if they're walking throughout Paris and they have it down by their side, I'm like, someone go run up and get that. I don't know if it actually helps promote like more safety in a city, but it does definitely scare me. When I go to a French soirée, normally French people, they're totally fine with going to somebody's apartment, turning on the boombox, and just dancing. Like, they have fun like that. And I can have fun like that too, as long as the boombox volume is up to a certain level. So when you're at a French soirée, they'll have wine, they'll be like, come on, let's dance. And then they'll put the music on like this. And to them, they're ready to turn up. They're ready to like, what? What? And you're like, am I at the same party? I admire it because I'm like, okay, you guys don't need like loud music or even a good song to dance to. You just want to like flail your limbs around. The other day I was at a gay club and my friends were like, oh yeah, let's go dance. And I'm like, oh, but this isn't a good song. And they're like, oh, mais on s'en fout, like let's go dance. And I was like, that's actually really cool. Because to me, dancing is something like you feel. Like if you like the song, you go and dance, you feel the lyrics, you feel the beat. To French people, they're like, no, I want to go dance, so I'm gonna dance regardless of the song. Anyways, it was interesting. To me, it just feels weird to like put on a song at like a low volume, a song that you wouldn't even listen to by yourself, and then be like, ouais, putain, c'est trop bien! And then I look like a hater for not dancing. I'm not a hater. Only in videos like this, I'm a hater. If you watch our other videos on our channel, you know I'm not a hater. I got good things to say about Paris. Saying no before they say yes. Many times. When I got my French visa, every answer to every question I had was non, monsieur, ou c'est impossible, monsieur. Like, it doesn't need to be this way. That is one thing I miss about the States, living in the States, because everyone has a can-do attitude, like, okay, we're gonna find a solution. I went to go get some jeans the other day. I'm looking through the jeans for my size. The worker comes over and she's like, ah, vous cherchez quelle taille, monsieur? And I said, oh, 29 or 30 for jeans. Ah, non, dans ce jean-là, on n'a pas. Then right when she said, no, we don't have it, I found it. Why even say no? Like, if you don't know, don't say anything. Then I went to a glasses store. Vous cherchez quel genre de lunettes, monsieur? I don't know, I kind of want some aviator ones or something like that. He's like, ah, mais il ne reste plus. Again, as he's saying that, I like find the perfect pair that I'm looking for. This morning I was in a cafe and they had the quiches out and I was like, ah, c'est quel genre de quiche ça? And it was a quiche Lorraine which has ham in it, and so I was like, ah, vous avez une quiche végétarienne? And the guy said, ah, non, on n'a pas. I said, okay, no problem. I have my little coffee. As I'm putting my coffee back on the counter, I hear another woman say like, ah oui, je prends la quiche végétarienne là. And I'm like, wow. He had just put out vegetarian quiches. Why say no when you don't know? I was in a fitness store trying to buy some vegan protein. And I had bought the same one that was more expensive because somebody told me to buy that one. And then I found one that was like the same thing but less expensive. And so I asked the worker, like, ah, mais il y a autant de protéines dans celle-là que celle-là. And he's like, oh, no, 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 pas du tout. And I was like, pas du tout, wow, like you seem so sure. So I pick up the other one. And then I'm like, wait, no. No, en fait, this one does have more. And he's like, ah oui, en fait, vous avez raison, monsieur. I'm like, so why'd you say no? And then once you call them out, they'll be like, ah oui, c'est vrai. Y'all are giving me mixed signals. I don't know. The last thing I'll say is that in French, you have this really like powerful word. This really powerful word called insupportable. And I feel like it's the ultimate put down to anything anyone does, which is why I don't like it. Like no matter how happy you are, how loud your laughter is, how different your personality is or humor is, a French person can always put you down by saying like, oh putain c'est insupportable. Like you're in the club and you know all the lyrics. Putain il est insupportable. These YouTube videos, oh he's too animated. Oh il est insupportable lui. Like you could really say it for anything. It just seems like one of those words that like say you're arguing with somebody and then they're like, you're crazy. And then you can't be like, I'm not crazy, because then you look even more crazy. So I feel like it's the same deal with this word, insupportable. Like there's no way to recover from it. But it is very French. So that was me hating on Paris. I could hate on the United States even harder. Don't worry, don't worry. It's not really hating, right? Like you're analyzing a city. These are the bad parts of the city. I have a list that's even longer of things that I love. And also to wrap it up, if you're not thinking about things on both sides, you might not even be thinking about them at all. Write in the comments below something that you're not a fan of in Paris. Oh, and also, suivez-nous sur tous les réseaux sociaux, c'est-à-dire Instagram, Damon Dominique, Jo Franco, Damon and Jo, and Shut Up and Go. I know, on a 4 contre. C'est ça ce qui est insupportable. Subscribe to our channel because we're trying to hit 2 million. I'll see you in the next video. I'm Damon. Bye-bye. As an American, again, these are all generalizations, I know that. Here in France, I have seen grown-ass adults try to cut me in line. Look, I fully know I'm being a hater in this video, but that's only because vous les Français, vous aimez vous moquer de ma culture aussi. Moi aussi, en fait.